What do I want to say? That is the question I have been trying to answer ever since the first day of Senior 2. In Bailey, at the end of your S2 year, you are offered a brick to paint that leaves your mark on the house. This brick was the reason that question came up until I received the email about my chapel speech. It took a lot of reflection, but I finally stopped staring at the screen and started writing. Good morning, Upper 1, Senior 2, faculty, and friends. I am honored to be standing here to tell you about how Appleby has influenced my life. If you do not know me, hi, my name is Julia, and I am really nervous to be sharing my personal story here today. One reason for this is that ever since I learned that I was doing a chapel speech, I have compared what I want to say to what everybody else has said before me. You could say that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I have been this way my whole life. For example, when I found out that I was being offered a spot on the Appleby varsity hockey team, I immediately knew I was ready for this perfect new adventure. I packed up to leave home at 14 with a vision of the perfect moment awaiting me. While my life at home was absolutely incredible, I was craving something new, something I could talk about for years to come. Appleby was a path into a whole new world to play hockey, make new friends, continue singing, but I wanted everything to fit a timeline of perfection. Urban Dictionary's definition of the perfect moment is a moment in your life when everything seems right. Nothing can get to you. I will share with you today how I achieved my perfect moment at Appleby, not through perfection itself, but through overcoming challenges, maintaining relationships at home, and to be truly honest, surviving and boarding as what I was at the time, a kid. Just ask Miss Chow, who mistook me for a grade 7 on the first day of grade 9. I know, embarrassing. If there's anything that you take away from my speech today, I hope it is that yes, struggles will always be there. But finding a solid group of people who will help you through anything is essential in helping you to achieve your perfect moment. It is only fair to start where my story began, in the small town of Torbay in Newfoundland, which is known for its amazing weather, the best fish you can find, and an accent like no other. And yes, I know, I don't have one whatsoever. However, Newfoundland means much more to me than I could ever explain to you all. Most importantly, though, it is where I get to spend time with my friends, hiking the beautiful woodsy trails, my family while simply having a home-cooked meal, going out to coffee with my dad, or going to my aunt's house with my mom to see my favorite dog in the world. However, life is never truly perfect, and I struggled sometimes figuring that out. I remember my first time feeling imperfect in a place very dear to my heart, the rink. On my hometown hockey team, I was the only girl, among many sweaty young boys who were bouncing off the walls all the time. This went on for years, and to be completely honest, sometimes it sucked being the only girl, especially as I got older. I found myself having to be in a separate change room, but the worst part was feeling inferior to the boys on my team. A moment that I will never forget was when I was playing in our home rink, and we were now allowed to check. I remember someone suddenly ramming me into the boards and stealing the puck. That wasn't the problem. Instead of me being able to brush it off, fight hard to get the puck back, the boy who had hit me muttered, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." Sorry, but for what? It was a clean check, and I wasn't hurt. So I'm pretty sure you can guess what he meant. Sorry, I didn't see your ponytail. I felt defeated and like I didn't belong. While I appreciated my coach being angered that the boy had hit me, in my mind, this just made things worse. Why did I have to be different? But instead of hitting him back or taking a bad penalty, I went out the next game against that team and scored a goal right in front of their bench. Totally worth it. I was able to turn that bad moment into sheer bliss, but this isn't always how things go. Life isn't always fixable. That's just reality. As I got older, things got less easy to fix. You are probably wondering why I'm talking about my life at home so much. Well, it has shaped how I act here at Appleby. As I said before, when I left home, I expected a perfect road with many achievements and awesome memories. Of course, there have been some amazing moments and memories here at Appleby. However, I would be lying if I said it was all smooth sailing. I've struggled in certain areas, but never ever wanted to admit it to anyone. This was partly because I did not want people to see that my life wasn't perfect. One of these struggles was that I never truly fit in to one group. That may seem insignificant to many of you. However, when you think of who you spend your time with at Appleby, there are definitely general cliques based on interests. Especially in my upper 1 year, I felt as though I didn't have one place where I belonged. Why? Well, I sing and play hockey. There's your answer. I felt like everyone had one place where they belonged, but I didn't. I used to get comments like, "Why aren't you close with this person?" just because I sang or played hockey with them. Half the time, it seemed almost impossible to balance all of the aspects of Appleby that I wanted to be a part of, especially with the heavy work schedule. I found myself doubting my decision to take on so many activities, as it just made me seem like I was indecisive or uncommitted. But I came to realize that my wide range of interests are a part of me that shape who I was and still am. I can honestly stand here and tell you that I like who I define myself as here at Appleby. Being a chapel warden, house council member, vocalist, and hockey player, all have contributed to my happiness here. I am forever grateful that I stuck with all of my activities and juggled the workload, which enabled me to accept my offer from McGill just a few weeks ago, and I could not be more thrilled. Another prominent struggle I've had at Appleby is maintaining healthy relationships with family and friends. My parents have always been concerned about my life here. I mean, who could blame them? They were sending me away, and I was actually excited about the idea. I know, right? Crazy. Well, sometimes my mom's constant texting, telling me that she's worried and not to forget things, or my dad's butt dialing when I'm in class, can get slightly irritating. I know they care about me and want me to be happy here. Even though my relationship with my parents has not been perfect, the move to Oakville has made my relationship with them so much stronger. Without them, I do not think I could have ever survived Appleby. They have helped me through some of my toughest times, and I can't thank them enough for that. Through this experience, I've learned how truly important relationships with others are, and when I think about it, having perfect relationships has always been my goal. However, I've learned that my expectations have been way too high, as some of the best relationships come with conflict and difficulty. When I left for Appleby, I lost people I thought I never would. I don't want you to think this was purposeful, as it happened with only some of my friends. But it happened, and at first I felt like I had failed not only them, but myself. However, I held on tighter to the friends that I still had amazing connections with. And while the situation was never truly fixed, it became more perfect than it was before. Although they can't be here, I want all of my friends from home to know that they truly make me feel like I never left, and it means so much. To add to this, I have so many amazing friends here at Appleby who love me unconditionally, just the way I am. While we all get along most of the time, sometimes things will happen in my circle of friends, and I will do almost anything to make everyone happy. I hate conflict, so when I do this, it is my way of making everything perfect again. It almost never works. I have realized that trying to pretend a situation doesn't exist never helps, and that it is sometimes best to be honest about my opinions so that I can be happy with myself. Knowing that I can say what I need to is amazing. They know that I love them, and it has only strengthened our friendships. My friends here have so much influence on my life, especially since I'm a long-distance boarder. They have offered me a place to go when boarding gets to be too much, where we can just hang out and have a good time together, and without this, I don't know what I'd do. Also, my friends who are long-distance boarders help me through the times I miss home and need a shoulder to lean on. They've made Appleby my home away from home, and it truly feels as close to perfection as it could get. My friends are also the people who will listen and give me amazing advice, especially my roommate, Onikia. While sometimes her advice comes with an inspirational Drake lyric, she's always truthful and blunt, and almost always right. Personally, I've learned that when in doubt, listen to Nikki. I thank her for that, and also all of my past roommates who've listened to my long rants late at night, who have made life here just so much easier. So, it is almost the end of the 2016-2017 school year. And while for some of you, this marks the end of your first year of high school, for others, it marks your last. In Upper 1, it may seem like you have a lot of time left, but trust me, it flies by. Participate in everything you can, and try to befriend people who understand you, because these friendships can last a lifetime. However, things won't always be easy. And if you are a perfectionist, like me, don't let that stop you from having an amazing experience here. It feels like just yesterday I was in grade 9, hearing speeches from grade 12s in this same chapel. I'm sure many of you S2s feel this way too. What would you like to say before you leave here? I encourage you to look back and find out what that is. So what did I ultimately want to say to you? It can be summed up as, don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. I will truly remember this place as a perfect moment of mine, even if things didn't always go my way. I hope that all of you will too. Now will you please rise and sing my favorite hymn, How Great Thou Art.